Welcome back to Mindset. I am Brad Barrett. Actually, no. Kira's going to start this year.
You want me to do the intro?
I do. Not so easy, is it? Not so easy. Not so easy, is it, from a cold start?
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome into Mindset. I'm Kira, your new host, 2026.
No last name, just Kira.
Just Kira.
Like Madonna.
It's my stage name.
my
This is
stage
Brad, and as always, the lovely Jared.
Oh, see what she did there?
Jer Bear.
I love it. Hey, welcome in, everybody. We're happy to see you back. It's the new year. We officially hit a year as the Mindset team.
Uno año.
Okay. Uno año. And who would we be as your team, your financial gurus, if you will, to bring up a New Year's resolution? In fact, we're going to bring up about 5 of them that I've seen over the years in the financial realm. This is kind of the time period of your life where you're like, new year, new you, get your finances in order, get your health in order. And I'll say this, at the end of this, stay tuned, because we're also going to give you a tip, I think, to take your wealth building journey on a little bit of a rise this year. So we have a good one for you at the end, so stay tuned. So we found this interesting, and probably a lot of you would relate to this and or already know this stat, but it bears repeating. Fewer than 10% of people that were surveyed follow through with their financial New Year's resolutions.
It's horrible.
Usually what happens is they come hot to trot, like first part of January. Usually by end of February, they kind of teeter off. It's when apparently Kira gets fired up, you know. But like, it's the truth. And so it's funny to talk about in a way with some lighthearted humor, because it's like, why? And so I've always said this, stick to something that you can do for a lifestyle, not something that's like a time period or like a fad or something like that. Like, implement things in your life. And I think when it comes to finances, these 5 that I'm going to bring up are really important, whether you do it now in January, in February, or May of next year, it doesn't matter. But whatever you do or whenever you do it, continually do it.
Yeah, these aren't grand gestures or one-time things.
No.
These are lifestyle choices.
Yeah. And the first one I'm going to lead with, which is probably going to be totally like duh, is have a budget pattern. And now I'm using those 2 words together because, as many people say, I'm an advisor that I know I get some slack for this, but it's like, I'm not a huge believer in budgets, because like budgets are super rigid. They cause animosity. They can cause interrelational conflicts. I very rarely see them actually stuck to like a T. It's always getting blown up, and then it kind of throws people off. And so it's like this thing, it's almost like, you know, this proverbial like dog chasing the car. It's like, it's never supposed to be caught, because if you caught it, you don't even know what to do with it, right? So it's kind of like this idea of like, less about budgets, more about patterns. Look at the flow of what you're doing and find out like the rhythm to which your financial life is going. For example, if you're a spender and you're trying to change that, I talked to a lot of my clients about debt, for example, and I very clearly mentioned this, that debt is a symptom of an underlying disease, right? And so I think if you focus on those kind of things, well, which would you rather fix? The symptom or the disease? I know it sounds a little drastic calling it a disease, but fit in whatever other analogy you want, right? And so focusing on budgeting, focusing on patterns, focusing on your cash outflow, it takes discipline.
Well, to your point, I like your stat. What's your stat on this?
Nearly 86% of people report using a budget regularly, but less than 25% said that they stick to their budget.
Drastically different as far as almost everybody says they have one, but almost nobody sticks.
I didn't even see that stat in our note. That's kind of what I've been saying. And I know it from experience based, working with clients every day and like anecdotally. So that backs it up. It's amazing what people will have. They'll have a budget or whatever, but they actually stick to it as a whole other matter. And by the way, you're not at fault for doing this. This is a very natural thing. This is why I don't like people getting super focused on budgets, because it's like, it's almost impossible to keep. Like, it really is.
Life does get in the way.
It just does.
Yeah.
Just something will happen. And what happens is when that thing happens, it's like, can you get back on track fast enough to like correct the wrong or correct the whatever way it went down, right? So I think it's important. And so if you don't have a New Year's resolution to get a budget, I want to give you a few things on how to do it. Okay. Sounds really simple, but one of the easiest ways to do this is take a look at your past 30 or 60 days in your bank account or your credit card statement or wherever you spend. Just take a look at everything, add it up, and then divide by either a month or 2 months, and it'll give you your monthly breakdown, right? So you add everything up, all of a sudden it's like $5,000 for 2 months. You have a $2,500 overhead on those spending environments, right? You can go in and categorize where those things are going, and that's all fine and good. But at the same time, it's like, again, patterns. It's like, okay, focus on some things that you want to kind of maybe remove, change, right? It could be dining out versus eating in. It could be subscriptions to things. You know, I know Jared was trying to cancel his Hulu subscription and could not for the life of him figure out how to do that.
Got it done.
See? So it takes some time sometimes, but like, go through those things and figure some out. And in that same process, one of the key things you can do when you're clearing up a budget or a pattern of outflow is to create room for savings. Because here's what happens. It's a sneaky thing, right? In this first thing, you'll say, oh yeah, I got rid of that subscription, or I'm not gonna do Starbucks in the mornings, or whatever it might be, right? The brain doesn't immediately go to, okay, now I have $10 extra per day to put towards investments. That's not where it goes right away. Where it goes right away, it says, now I have some freedom to go spend somewhere else.
Get some clothes, a little
Yeah,
shopping.
and look, the problem is it becomes a self-perpetuating thing. It's like it's fulfilling a profit, this thing you already have kind of set in motion. So like creating room for savings, creating room for debt payoff, that is a huge part of this budgeting item. So sticking to a budget this year, I think, is really key. It's also really important because it creates discipline. And like, I know no one wants to be disciplined like we didn't as kids, but at the same time, we also inherently as human beings crave it as well because it's good for us. It's okay. It sucks, yes, but it's good for you.
Nothing in life good is easy.
What? It was like in like caveman.
Did those words come out?
Nothing
On the
good
right way?
in life
Nothing
is
good,
budget.
Good.
Nothing is good. Nothing good in life comes easy.
Anything
So
worthwhile doesn't come easy.
when you work, you got to put in the time to get the rewards.
And so if you don't have a resolution, or you haven't created one yet, or you haven't thought about budgeting on this point, I want to give you some tips here on how to create one for a budget or for outflow and spending. So number 2 I want to bring up is I'm going to stick with a plan for this year. And I just mentioned part of that plan would be some budgeting or some patterns, some outflows. But saying that to yourself, if you don't have a resolution right now, these are really key. I am going to stick with a plan this year.
This is part of mine. It's creating that I'm going to put, for us, we're going to make a plan that's going to work with our budget. And so we're going to put X amount every single month into retirement accounts. And we're going to kind of raise that number this year. And I think that's what we really want to do. We have our emergency fund that we'll dip into when we need to, but really just whatever we can do to stick to our plan to achieve that goal.
Well, it's funny while you're saying that, there was a coach I had a long time ago that was always really big on the idea of describe and manage versus declare and fulfill. I really liked it. And the example that was always brought up was like, it was like JFK talking about a space program. When he was talking about that, they hadn't even launched NASA and wasn't even in the works. And then like 8 years later, we're on the moon. So it was this idea of like declaring you're going to do something. So we're setting this up for you all. It's around resolutions, but it's a lot more like affirmations in a way, right? So it's saying like, I'm going to stick to a budget this year. I'm going to stick to a plan this year, whatever that might be. I'm going to bring up a next one. Like, I'm not going to be taking on any new debt this year, right? Saying these things to yourself helps you kind of work through the idea of declaring and fulfill. Do you necessarily know right now, the first week or so of January, how you're going to do this? Maybe not. And that's okay. But what it does is if you believe it and you keep saying that to yourself and you really want to go through it, you'll start taking steps towards it. Maybe the first step is meeting with somebody, an advisor, to talk through it. Maybe if you're married, you're talking to your spouse about it. See if they're on board with these affirmations. Like, these are more like you're declaring you want this. And this, by the way, you may not want, you have to believe in this for yourself to make it work. But you're declaring, and what's going to happen is by doing that, I do believe, as I've seen it work so many times, that you'll end up fulfilling it.
Having commitment starts with that.
Correct.
I think once you declare and say, I'm going to commit to this, it helps stick to this resolution.
Yep. And I know I beat a dead horse when I say this, but I can tell you with surety, and I've seen it time and time again, that one of the best ways to stick to some of these things we're talking about is to have someone in your corner. I'm not advocating for me. I'm just saying in general, find that person local to you, find that person that you trust, have someone in your corner. But what I'm saying is, for example, in your own life, like for you and Dylan, you have a mentor, right? Isn't it nice knowing you have someone in your corner? So if you were to walk through them, hey, I have this is what I want for my life. Or this is what I want for this year. I'm gonna start there. Go small, right? Knowing so you have someone in your corner that you meet with every month or whatever it is, or maybe in every year, right? They're like, hey, you have someone to be accountable to, in a way, right? Knowing you have someone in your corner, doesn't that kind of like add a little bit of like, I got to be accountable to somebody? And
yeah, I think just like with goals in general, I think the more people I'll tell about something, like if I'm like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
finish my Invisalign trays this year.
Like sharing it in the world kind of
Yeah.
puts you to it, right?
Yeah, because then every once in a while somebody will be like, how are those Invisalign trays going? And I'm like, oh, shoot.
Then you start lying. Then you get caught in these white lies. Like, it's going good, but you're really not doing it or whatever. Third thing I think you should say from a resolution or an affirmation, right, is, and I alluded to this a minute ago, is I'm not going to take on any new debt.
This is good.
Bummer.
I know how, well, let's talk. I know how it's going to sound because you're like, well, okay, Brad, for sure, but I want to pay off my old debt. I'm like, you can still do that, but just tell yourself as you are paying off the current debt, that you're just not going to get new debt. What I've found over time is that debt accumulates because we can't stop what's happening. And a lot of times what's happening is overspending. And it's a tricky thing because it's like, well, I don't have enough income coming in and I have a certain lifestyle. I'm like, but there's never been, and I know this sounds crass, but there's never been an outflow or a budget that I have seen, myself included, my wife and I included, that there wasn't areas in there, easily 10% of which that we didn't need or that were easy to go without.
Yeah. And
I've just never seen it.
This type of stuff, and a good example for me is like, I feel like people are always being like, I need a new car. And your car's
And
like,
they'll validate, they'll tell themselves why and all
your
this kind of
car's like a
stuff.
year and a half old.
Yep.
It's like on this, especially if you have debt and you're trying to get rid of the old debt, don't take on new debt. And like, can you wait a year? Can you wait till you get your credit cards paid down? I think this is the heart of this for at least me, is like really take a look. Do you need?
Correct. And
you're
there's
getting.
a lot of marketing that's going on subliminally you don't realize. And it's really important that you don't confuse what you can borrow with what you should borrow. Because it's amazing. If you think a thought, I swear AI is listening to us now. Like I'll think something, all of a sudden I'm getting targeted for it or something.
Yeah.
Like you'll think it and like you'll find all of a sudden the thing that you're thinking about or talking about, all of a sudden it's coming up and it's like, I do need it. And you'll start validating it for yourself. So it's a slippery slope. Everyone falls victim to this. But the best way you can do it is remind yourself of this third thing that you randomly heard on this wonderful show called Mindset that was, hey, look, no matter what happens, I'm not going to take on any new debt. That's important.
Tough, but it'll change your life.
It's tough but fair, as my
fair.
Boring.
Tough but fair.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Good
though.
financial plans are boring.
Yeah.
They are.
As
I said before, if I'm the least sexiest person in someone's financial life, I'm doing my job. Meaning the plan we put in place, the investment we put in place. Why are you looking at me like that?
It was just funny.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom. Fourth one I'd bring up is it's something you should tell yourself in these affirmations, these resolutions. I'm going to be prepared for anything this year. That sounds kind of gangster.
I don't
right?
need this resolution because I'm there.
You are a prepper. We have found out Jared is our prepper. But hold on. Fine. Let me test you. I wrote down, 6 things?
5.
5. Do you have an emergency fund? A dedicated emergency fund?
Yes.
Do you insure yourself on all things?
Do I have car insurance?
Correct.
Yes.
Life insurance?
Yes.
Health insurance?
Health insurance?
Yes.
Do you have a trust and a will?
And no.
Okay, I'm not done.
It's all on the agenda, but
Long-term care insurance. You probably don't need it. You're too young.
We don't. But I want it. Yeah, we're gonna work.
HSA accounts.
Yes.
I think you have to. Yep.
Yeah, you
401k.
do.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Do you and Dylan have an emergency fund?
Well, it's just like a savings account lumped in there.
That'll check. I'll give you a gold star for
We
that one.
each have one.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay. All right. Would it cover 3 to 6 months of overhead?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you insure yourself? Do you have insurances for rental insurance, car insurance?
Yes.
You don't have dependents yet, so life insurance is kind of like maybe, but I'll give you a pass on that one.
No.
HSA accounts?
No.
Trust?
No. At what age do you do that?
You should have it at every age.
I thought that's like 40 and up.
No, it's not like, first off, it's not an age thing. You get married, no matter if you have kids or no kids. I mean, that's kind of the start of a lot of these things.
And Dylan should probably have life insurance on himself for you
Correct.
if he's the breadwinner.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. So I'm just saying.
Shout out.
Way to go, Dill.
Big beast of a man.
Well, I have a man crush on that guy.
Same.
All right, last thing I want to bring up here is that I think it's important for you guys to say and kind of walk through. If you've done the last 4 we talked about in terms of not taking on any new debt, I want to make a plan this year. I want to stick to a budget. I'm going to be prepared for anything. I'm going to increase my income for this year.
Which is a cool one.
It is, because you're like, well, I don't have control of that.
You do.
You do. I think so, right?
We've done several shows on this.
We have. First one I should always say is shoot your shot. If you've been there before and for a long time and you feel like there's value, you can always work within the parameters of your culture and your work or whatever it is. But say, hey, I was thinking I'm doing a really good job here. I was wondering if I can get a pay raise. Never wants you asking that question. It could be a no.
Or if you're in a stagnant job that won't do that, maybe this is the time where you take a step and be like, I need to get out of here and look for that job.
Potentially.
Whoa.
It's a bigger step.
Whoa.
Well,
But you can be locked into a job that's
true.
going to be
soul sucking.
Could be keeping you from these goals.
And so I think that we also did a show on side hustles. Now, I shared on that show, I'm not like side hustles are fine if it's going somewhere, but if you're just doing it to increase your lifestyle, you're just creating more work for yourself, in my opinion. But it is there. I think
side hustles, number of things you could do.
And I think at the same time, by increasing your income, it's not increasing your income could also be construed as increasing your wealth in terms of like your knowledge base. So going back to school, getting credentials, getting professional degrees, something like that. These are all things that'll enhance you for this year, but into the future. Because these are things these will, pay residuals to you over time.
Getting a certification might bump you up to another level.
Totally.
Look into it.
I agree.
Ways.
yeah.
And here's how I want to land this plane, if you will. Getting financially organized is probably one of the easiest first steps to do. Like if everything you listen to today is kind of just like, oh yeah, all sounds fine. Yeah, I might do that and this and the other. You know what the best thing you can do is, my analogy of the financial junk drawer, is open up that junk drawer, put everything out, put it all down and look at it. Like literally, you probably never done that before. Okay, I have a savings account here. I have this insurance from this time in my life. I got this, all these things are kind of like, okay, now it's all in front of me. This is where our plan comes in. But you can just do it literally however, put it on a piece of paper and just be like, okay, what does this all mean to me? Do I need all this stuff still?
Are they working together?
Are they working together? Right? This random junk drawer I always bring up is that drawer in your house where you have you have like a scissors, you got, a matchbox, you got tape, you got chapstick, you got paper clips, like all important things that you use around the house, but they're not exactly, if you were to put them in individual drawers, they would work just the same.
Yep.
Right? These are things that need to be integrated. They need to be comprehensive. They have to work together.
Or thrown out.
Or looking at it and saying, is this on something I need anymore? Like, no, this is just clutter at this point, right? And it's distracting you, for example. So consolidating accounts, setting up bill pay is a good way to kind of get organized. Digitizing financial reports. If you have some things back in the past, you have this one record of it, but it's not even, relevant to your online banking world nowadays. I think financial apps can be a good use as well, sometimes depending on what they are and for what, do you have one that you like?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
We got a
No sponsorship here. I'm just curious.
You can say it.
Rocket Money.
Rocket Money.
Yeah.
We are not
Is that a budgeting app?
sponsored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love them.
Cool.
See?
That's nice.
Great.
Good tip.
Love. See?
Sponsor us.
Bonus tip.
Yeah. But I mean, using these kind of things, if they work for you to integrate your stuff and kind of organize some things, is a huge deal.
Yeah. It's
Totally
great.
is a huge deal.
I'm a big organizer fan. I like organization. Put it where it goes.
Yeah.
You can get to it
Fit
quick.
in
Everything
the
has
box.
a spot.
Fit it in
Levels.
the box.
Yeah.
Do one of these.
Vogue.
In vogue.
Yeah.
Hey, hope you guys enjoyed that today. If nothing else, Happy New Year. We plan on bringing you a bunch of great episodes for this year, so stay tuned. Thank you for all of our subscribers. We're heading into a great new year. We got some really great stuff ahead. There's some new additions to the show this year.
You're the horse.
Yep.
Get going.
Get going.
Yay.
You're the horse. To anyone who's not subscribing to us yet, please do so. We love having it. And also, if you're new to us, thank you. We're excited to bring you more and more episodes. And as always, if you lead with love, it's going to be all right. See you guys.
Happy New Year. You want Dylan to give you a hug?
I probably could use a Dylan hug.
He's never given me a hug.
Dylan?
Okay. I want to
Let
hug.
that soft, silky blonde hair.
I want to hug before Jared does. Tell Dylan that.
Okay.
I don't like that.
I do.
I don't like where your heart is on that.
It
Where that came from, that came from a
you know why?
dark place. All right. Let's make some YouTubes.
Let's make some YouTubes.